rally was only 4 kilometers old, but the action was underway. You don't normally gain much time in only a 4-kilometer stage, but Ficken and Aris already had a 2-second lead over teammates Keen and Hodgson. Toyota's challenge started well, with Mark Renier and Robert Paisley setting the third fastest time, ahead of JP Damser and Kobus Frey and Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh. On the trot, without any service in between. So a problem on stage 2 would mean even bigger problems when it comes to stages 3 and 4.
Few stumps on the if you're off the road, but if you're off the road, it's your own fault. So no, I think certainly we take the first one easy, and then just see where we are in the competition.
The first real stage of the total. At 11.2 kilometers, it's quite short, but it's also the start of 3 stages without any service in between. The idea is to go as fast as possible, but without taking any risks. It's a very fine line, and it normally takes years to find just the right balance. Ficken's strategy, however, was to attack from the word go. As current championship leaders, Ficken and Aris had the honour, or in most cases, the disadvantage of being the first car on the road. The BP Ultimate Polo would fulfill the rollers' road sweepers, sweeping the road clear for the drivers to follow. But this didn't seem to bother him too much, as he set the first benchmark time of 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Habib and Judd are the defending champions and the winners of this event last year. The BP Ultimate Polo flew through stage 2 in typical Habib style, but with a time of 7 minutes, the champion lost 8 seconds to teammate Ficken. I'm standing at the start of the first real stage of the event, and there's already a gap. It means Enzo Keen is out of the event.
Yeah, it's a bit of a concern if you drive a car after a stage into a holding area and then tomorrow it's broken. So we are a little bit concerned about it, what happened there, but we'll have to investigate a bit more. The car worked very well yesterday, but this morning wouldn't even start.
That's very sad news indeed, but for the rest of the field, it means one less team to worry about. Nicholas Ryan and Schalk van Heerden recorded their first ever S2000 podium earlier in May, and were determined to take this good form into the total. But with a time of 7 minutes and 3 seconds, he was falling a little behind.
Yeah, we had a bit of a off on the right now, just before the end here. Not too bad, but lost a little bit of time.
JP Damser and Kobus Frey are undoubtedly the unluckiest team in the top S2000 class. The Capetonian in his Team Total Evolution Runix has shown rally-winning pace on every single event this season, and a time of 6 minutes and 57 seconds suggested that he was once again on the right track. The Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru of Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich was the next car on the road, and the first of the class in-for production cars. Last year he didn't even make it to stage 2, but this time he recorded a good time of 7 minutes and 1 second.
Loose 9, continue over flying finish. Tightens the loose 9, yeah? Continue, turn and slow down.
Here's the moment that Castrol Toyota fans have been waiting for. Mark Rooney and Robert Paisley attacked the first stage of the day in their quest to bring an end to Volkswagen's domination. The time to beat is 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Cronier crosses the flying finish in a time of 6 minutes and 49 seconds. The fight is on. Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh clearly wanted to join this battle, but without taking too many risks early on. His time of 6 minutes and 57 seconds matched that of Damser and placed him right in the middle of the action.
Yeah, not bad for the first time, all right. A little bit tricky, but okay.
John and Father Douglas Williams were not going to be outdone and raced through stage 2 in the third fastest time of 6 minutes and 55 seconds.
We've got 3 stages, one after each other, so we have to be a bit cautious, but we went for a very okay pace.
So the S2000 battle was tight, but so was the N4 production car one. Paul Pfeiffer and Cindy Harding in the Nobili Mitsubishi Lancer were chasing the time of 7 minutes and 1 second set by Wilkin and matched it.
And right 4 in.
With a blistering stage time the night before, Visser du Plessis and Gerard Snyman were leading the production car battle, and amazingly, the Bertix Subaru crossed the flying finish in exactly the same time as both Wilkin and Pfeiffer.
Yeah, well, I'm happy. Well, we're driving like whizzies. The car feels good for the first time.
From the previous event, Hein Latergan and Johan van der Merwe joined the N4 battle in their Steve's Auto Clinic Subaru and recorded a time of, wait for it, 7 minutes and 1 second. Amazingly, all the top N4 runners recorded exactly the same time. Only 12 seconds separated the 10 fastest cars over stage 2, but more importantly for Cronier, his winning time moved him into second position overall, just 2 seconds behind Ficken. Enzo Keen's name is noticeably missing from the leaderboard, allowing the rest of the S2000s to take up the top 6 times. And just look how competitive N4 is going to be, with 4 cars sharing the same time on stage 2. 2 more stages to go before the poor rally machinery can receive the necessary attention they deserve. Stages 3 and 4 were 14.1 and 11.2 kilometers respectively, and much of the same thing as stage 1, with long straights separated by 90-degree corners. Earlier rain left some standing mud around, enough to keep the drivers on their toes. Fecken and Aries were again the first ones on the road and set the target time of 8 minutes and 42 seconds. It was 11 seconds faster than teammates Habich and Judd, who were struggling with the gear ratios they chose in the DP Ultimate Polo.
Pretty good stage, nothing exciting. Staying out of trouble.
Castrol Toyota's Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh arrived at the end of stage 3 with a muddy car, but also with a faster stage time of 8 minutes and 38 seconds, or 4 seconds faster than Fecken. This is what Toyota fans were hoping for. Cronje and Paisley reached the end of stage 3 with a time of 8 minutes and 41 seconds, 3 seconds slower than teammate Gemmell, but more importantly, a single second faster than Fecken.
I don't know where we are at the moment, but we had a fairly clean run. We made a couple of mistakes. I bolted in one of the corners. So we'll see. I think we were just equal level head, eh?
Well, it might be a long rally, but the guys are not taking it easy at all. There's only 1 second difference between Fecken in the lead and Cronje behind him, so Toyota is really taking the fight to them this time. Fecken responded by winning stage 4, but he only managed to stretch the lead to 6 seconds again.
We're pushing very hard. It's very difficult. We're running in front, so I'm not really sure what the other guys are doing. So just giving it a very good fight.
From here on, it was very clear that both the Toyotas of Cronje and Gemmell were on a mission to chase the flying Fecken down.
No, I'm happy. It was a bit of a rocky run. It was a bit untidy. Let's leave it at that.
Habich and Judd were still not happy with their car, but maintained 4th overall at this crucial part of the event. John Williams is the youngest driver in S2000, but it didn't show at this point as the Guma Volkswagen Polo driver found good rhythm to race into 5th overall.
Yeah, we're battling with the hairpins a little bit. I think it's very slippery, but on the faster stuff it seems perfect. So we've got to get a bit of setup between the two.
Nicholas Ryan and Skalk van Heerden in the Philips Toyota Runix were setting top 10 stage times, but Ryan was slowly falling off the pace with a tiresome problem.
I'm not balancing. I don't know. Here's the arms are finished.
JP Damso and Cobus Frey were fast, very fast in fact. The Total Evolution Runix set the 4th fastest time in stage 3 and went 2 better in stage 4. Was it not for a 30-second penalty they incurred for leaving the service park 3 minutes late, they would have been in 4th overall, but instead they were way further down and had a lot of time to make up.
We had a clean run in that stage now. Time's alright, but saw a couple of cars coming behind us. Now we're getting into it, so let's keep it going like that.
The Class N4 battle had all the makings of an epic one. And only his second event behind the wheel of the Steve's Auto Clinic Subaru, Hein Latergan raced into a slim lead and 6 overall after stage 4. The perfect Subaru of Du Plessis and Snyman was only 4 seconds adrift, followed by the Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru of Wilkin and Godrich, a further 3 seconds back.
Yeah, I think the road will definitely clean up a bit towards the back. So, you know, the other guys running 14th and 15th, 3, 4.
Fernando Rueda and Dave Lefkowitz were just outside the top 10. But the Team Total Mitsubishi Lancer was only a few seconds away from joining the N4 production car battle. Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton were starting to get to grips with their S2000 Castrol Toyota Runix and set top 10 stage times in both stages 3 and 4. But with the pace as hot as it was, they were still outside the top 10.
Yeah, no, we are.
So for 3 tough stages without service, the cars, drivers and navigators worked hard. At the first real service of the day, it was time for the service crews to jump in. It was also time to catch a breath and plan strategies for the rest of the day, which still had 5 stages. Fecken's strategy was no doubt to build on his 6-second lead, while Cronje and Gemmell planned on closing it down. Although JP Damso's name was 4th, he was still facing a 30-second penalty, dropping him right down the leaderboard. Habich was still within striking distance, and there was very little between the leading N4 drivers. The Total International Rally waits for no one, and soon after service, the action continued with stages 5 and 6, again with no service in between. The seesaw battle between Fecken and the charging Toyotas also continued. Firstly, Fecken and Aries won stage 5, stretching their lead to 12 seconds, only for Cronje and Gemmell to jointly set the fastest time in stage 6, again bringing the lead down to only 7 seconds. Class N4 produced the same seesaw battle. Hein Latergan and Johan van der Merwe in the Steve's Auto Clinic Subaru entered this group of stages with a 4-second lead over the Visser Du Plessis and Gerard Snyman Vertex Subaru. Duplessis took 2 seconds in stage 5 and another 5 seconds in stage 6, and in the process took the overall production car lead from Lateghan, with Wilkin lurking only a few seconds behind.
Yeah, the battle is tough. This is not a stage where I wanted to go fast and I didn't, but the time is there.
On to stages 7 and 8, which were repeats of stages 2 and 3. The drivers would now all be familiar with these roads, and as road streaking was no longer part of the equation, the times would be considerably quicker than earlier in the day. Cronje and Paisley won their third stage of the event on stage 7, taking another second from Fecken and Aris and shrinking the lead back to 6 seconds again, the same it was before risking life and limb over these past 3 stages. But as always, Fecken and Aris had an answer and set the fastest time on stage 8, albeit by only 2 seconds. And all this time, Gemmel and Marsh were peeping over their shoulders, just over 20 seconds behind and waiting for either one to make a mistake. In Class M4, it got even closer and closer. After stage 7, Lateghan and Duplessis were tied for the lead, but a quick time from Wilkin in stage 8 made it a 3-way fight. He overtook Lateghan and got to within 3 seconds of the Duplessis lead. The total rally had 56 entries, with great battles all the way down the field. In Class A7, the top 2-wheel drive class, former Northern Regions champion Michael Otto and co-driver Armand de Tooy and the Barloworld Toyota Corolla drove brilliantly. Otto set the pace throughout the grueling Friday stages. The current off-road special vehicles champion Evan Hutchison with Greg Gericke in the hot seat had his best outing in the Team Motorized Toyota Ronix since moving to the world of special stage rally, and maintained second place in Class A7 for most of the day. Behind Otto and Hutchison, a number of very fast Class A7 drivers each had a turn to occupy third. This list included Tian Schuber and Henny Boertes in the Salom-sponsored VW Polo, Gugu Zulu and Carl Peskin in the BP Ultimate VW Polo, Hans Kalkberger and Gert Janssen van Rensburg and the Powerline Africa Toyota Corolla. Class A6 is usually a tough battleground for the Team Total Toyotas of Craig Trott and former driver-turned-navigator Tony Ball and Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin. But this time, Stefan Wilkin and Llewellyn Fourie and the Panhard Seeds VW Polo have turned the tables. Wilkin was having a clean run and setting the pace, while Musa was suffering from technical problems. This wasn't as bad as Craig Trott. The class championship points leaders fell prey to a rough corner in stage 8, turning the Ronix over. With the help of some of the spectators, the Ronix was turned back on its wheels, but with more than a minute lost. Trott wasn't the only one to have problems with this tricky corner. Namibians Osvaldo Mendes and Harold Hofmeister did exactly the same and got a helping hand from the spectators. Behind Wilkin, there was a fantastic battle going on between Jose de Gouveia and Johan Oukamp in the friendly Grosser Toyota Corolla, and the brothers Nico and Gert Nienaber in a similar Power Force hydraulic sponsored machine. As with the top classes, there were only seconds separating these two. Class A5 for 1300 and 1400 Toyota Tazes, Yaris's and Volkswagen City Golfs is the training ground for future stars. Andre Kleinwerk and Des de Fortier and their BP Ultimate City Golf are usually the ones to catch, but it was Steve Mearns and Kieran Noonan who set the initial pace in their multi-purpose cement Toyota Taz. Unfortunately for Mearns, the engine in his Taz expired during stage 3. Dave Compton and Paul Leslie scored their first class win during the previous round in the Sasol Toyota Yaris, and things were looking good halfway through the Friday when they held the Class A5 lead in front of Kleinwerk and the Team Techwood Toyota Taz of Chad Kondadi and Ian Rabe. As in the 3 previous events, Class N3 was once again a straight fight between the Team Total Toyota Ronix of Rodney Versage and Caroline Swan, the similar machine of Costa Komatrakis and new navigator Louw Zetsman, the Sasol Toyota Ronix of Etienne de Tooy and Patrick Vermaak, and the Team Ford Racing Fiesta ST of Etienne Lawrence and Alvin Coetzee. De Tooy set the initial pace before being overtaken by Komatrakis. His lead only lasted for 2 stages before being wheeled in by Rodney Versage. Through all of this, the Ford of Lowlands was never far away. Unfortunately, Class N2 was again a one-man show, with husband and wife Rian and Hestrie Erasmus the only entrants. They were still in it and driving fast. It's late Friday afternoon. The guys are heading out to the last gravel stage of the day, and there's absolutely nothing in it. 6 seconds in Class S2000, only 3 seconds in production cars. So the guys are trying their very best, but their best doesn't seem to be good enough. So what is it going to take to open up a gap?